Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm on chess.com's tactics trainer, and I am now recording my voice. I just worked through 3 puzzles, sharing my thoughts, and I wasn't recording my voice, so I already know the answers to each of these 3 problems that I will be presenting to you in this video, and seeing if you can figure them out. I'll explain why the moves are played, but this is a little pop quiz for you. I feel 2 of these 3 at least are quite instructive, this being an interesting one for sure. A pretty rare puzzle to see, one that is strictly king and pawn. So I'll throw it at you with each of these 3. If you'd like to, this is a black to move in problem 1. If you'd like to, go ahead, pause the video, see if you can find the solution. Okay. The best continuation for black is h5. This is the only way forward. Many ways, a couple ways to go wrong, but this is the way you need to go. You need to activate your king on the king side. A couple faulty approaches is to think that, well, I'm just going to race over here because he's going to attack my pawn. Well, you're not going to be successful, because eventually, once white acquires this position, he has all day to bounce back and forth with the king. The black king, unfortunately, is stuck. He can't do that and continually defend the pawn, so eventually the tempi run out. You could push after white takes and black recaptures, king b7, and the king has to move away from defense of the pawn. So that's not working, a king move. Nor is g5 working because of h5, and the king side is shut down. There's no way for the king to make progress on this side of the board. So by elimination, and maybe that's how many of you got the answer to this one, you have to start with h5. White has to take, because there's a serious threat connected with h5 actually. If white ignores this and approaches the c-pawn, black plays g5, and this creates a passed h-pawn. G takes h, and he's running. And h takes g, h4, same story. Therefore, on h5, white has to take. And now it's another moment where you can easily go wrong, and that is to make this knee-jerk reaction, this knee-jerk recapture on h5. This is going nowhere for black. The h-pawn can now not be disrupted, nor can the e4 pawn. So what that means is g4, g5, and f5 will continually be under white's control, and of course we can't make use of these 2 squares, so there's a little wall that's basically cutting our king off from accessing the king side, accessing the f3 pawn. So what we must play here as black is g5. H takes g, and this is the bulk of where the calculation lies with this problem. You need to have seen this sequence of pawn advances on the king side, and then it's a matter of counting. Counting how many moves will it take before white gets a queen. The answer to that is 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He needs to get out of the pawn's way. 6, 7, 8, 9. And for black, it's taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The king is already out of this pawn's way. 6, 7, 8, 9. So that said, what will end up happening is white will queen first, black will queen on the very next move, and it's still a little bit of a fight, but this is the only way forward for black. Let me just put the moves on the board so you can see this final position. All these moves, by the way, when I initially went through the problem, played out just like this. It tested all these moves, and once we got to this position, it said puzzle was solved. It's still a little bit of work because, this pawn could be captured and, white is still up a pawn, but this is the only way to try to hold this to a draw, is to start out with that h5 move. So, interesting puzzle. Again, we don't get to see the king and pawn stuff so often in a puzzle, so didn't want you to miss out on that one. Thought it was instructive. Puzzle 2 is this one right here, where it is white to move. If you'd like to, go ahead, pause the video, and see if you can come up with a solution. Okay, this one actually is a mate in 2, much less sophisticated than the first one. Queen c6, very common tactical motif, is one where the bishops are both knifing into the king position. Dark square bishop has these two. Placing a bishop on a6 will be mate. Queen c6, there's only one legal move. And then we give mate. So mate in 2 for puzzle 2. And one last one, where we are yet again playing as white. If you'd like to, go ahead, pause the video, see if you can find the best continuation for white. Okay. The best move for white is queen to g2, not f3. Maybe many of you were thinking it's f3. It's not the case. This pin is the main idea. We are attacking an unprotected piece, and we are in a position to take the knight on our next move if black defends the knight. Queen takes, or queen c6, we can take the knight because in the end we have this resource knight d6 with the fork. So that is an important variation to be familiar with. Also important is to know what to do on f5. Well, the knight is pinned, he's powerless. We would then jump into d6, that's a fork, and then we take the queen. Why is it so important? And this is I believe the key to this puzzle is recognizing, okay, go in for the pin, recognize the follow-up of a fork on d6, but how exactly to place our queen, on which square? Why should it be g2 and not f3? f3 is not good because of f5. Black isn't going to go queen c6 because of that. Take the knight, knight d6, but on f5, now once we go in for this fork and then take the queen, black doesn't have to take the knight back. We are susceptible to a fork with knight d2, so we have to be, with this puzzle, a little bit delicate, recognize the resources that our opponent has, and play to g2, not this f3 square. We need to anticipate what it is black can be doing to us. Just as a nice little rule, having a piece positioned like this opposite from the knight on the same diagonal, one square separating them, he takes many moves before he's even in a position to attack our queen. When she's on f3, he's just one move away from doing that. Okay, well, a little bit of a change up here with this one, these 3 puzzles. As usual, feel free to share how you did with these 3 in the comment section below. And as usual, I hope you got something out of it. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.